certainly has some phenomenal teams representing it as we head towards the European, when we go towards the LAN area. However, it is going to be a huge matchup between these two teams. Lola, what do you think?
I couldn't have said it better myself. These two teams obviously battling for that #1 spot. Galeforce trying to repeat it. Obviously, big talks for them for their championship curse. Are they going to be able to beat it? They made it to the playoffs. They made it to the World Championship, so they're happy there. But the big difference, can they repeat that regional championship? The only team we really see do that is NRG over in America. So difficult situation. They have a chance to really solidify themselves as the absolute top of Europe.
And when we see Europe overall, the last two regional champions we've had have come from the earlier on qualifying matchups. Last season we had Galeforce. The season before that we had Mockit EU. Can Team Envy repeat the same feat?
Going to be a difficult one, that's for sure. Obviously, neither Galeforce or Envy want to give this one up.
Getting to get into this matchup. Ball already up high. Violent Panda has to try and deal with it. Push just over to the sides. Ignite looking for the center. Going to be very much up to Devo as the man as you just saw on the ball. Just taking his time, but it's going to be up to him to try and set up for the rest of his team. Remco. Over to the corner. Here's Devo. Gets the ball played over the top. It's going to be Galeforce counter-attacking as Turbo goes for the hunt. But Ignite can turn that one away. Violent Panda. Just can't quite get much of anything going. Is now Devo all the way up. Kate up now. Ends up missing. Remco with yet another long clear. Very slow start here to game #1. Ignite. He's got time. Very little boost though. Can't really do too much of anything with that. Head towards the midfield. Infield pass. Ignite gets back over to Remco, who can't quite turn that one in. And now Devo. Nice deft touch there from him. It's going to be K-Dop who takes that. Ball played back into the middle though. Still, neither team able to open up an opportunity for themselves.
Difficulty last series for this Envy squad was their shooting accuracy. Other than Remco, neither player, Devo or his teammate, able to find the back of the net. My apologies, it was actually Ignite who put in all the goals. Remco also having difficulty with finding the back of the net. Just one of those situations where unless Ignite is scoring the goals for this squad, they're finding difficulty. But the pressure they've been able to apply so far today has been monumental.
K-Dop passes over. All three members committed, and there's going to be Violent Panda taking away the potential counter-attacking opportunity.
Demo's coming out real early here for Galeforce.
Ball left. Remco looking to launch. Ignite might be a target here, but K-Dop already around. 2 minutes now played. Still, both teams looking for that opportunity. It was the infield pass earlier on from Team Envy, but apart from that, no team really able to create much until K-Dop will come in to score the goal.
Great pass here from Turbo Pulsa. Two players in defense, no point in putting that on target. It's just going to make an easy save for them. So what does he do? He plays it in a difficult spot, forces them both to jump, and then the follow-up. Really well done by Turbo Pulsa, recognizing the opportunity.
3 minutes left now. Team Envy taking the lead, but it won't last long, as K-Dop is actually going to make it 2. Sorry, I got that one confused.
Great way off the kickoff as well. Violent Panda just trying to kill that as much as possible because he's a little bit higher on that kickoff with the top left of his car and pops up over to the other side. And cheating up, gonna pay off for Galeforce. Great start for them here, goal per minute.
Bounced off the side, Violent Panda looks to launch long. Galeforce very comfortable thus far in this game. Remco takes his time. Violent Panda with the chase. Devo will be by himself, trying to buy some time. The rest of his team does rotate themselves in. Now Remco launches.
Difficult situation as well. Violent Panda on his way rotating back made an extra little bit of a touch, although it makes it difficult for them to clear it out. If you have a player like Turbo Pulsa sitting there waiting, allow him to rotate in and take that pressure on.
Good block there from Remco. Ignite. Plays the ball off the wall. It's Devo. Just puts the ball straight down. A lot of these touches so far from Team Envy, just very loose, not really with much intention. It's giving the ball back over to Galeforce every single time. Turbo is going to try and get something here. It'll be very difficult to try and take a shot from that particular angle though, as K-Dop launches once again. At this point, it's all up to Gale Force just to hold rotation and not allow any mistakes. The shot goes in. Violent Panda's going to make it free.
Too easy for them on this one. Violent Panda just no pressure on him whatsoever in that midfield. Just turns around and pops it high, but the ability to move up as well. Remco needs to make those touches. Anything on that's going to stop that from going in.
This has been a destructive performance thus far from Gale Force eSports. Team Envy coming into this with all of the momentum on their side. They just haven't been able to capitalize at all. Turbo Pulsar looking for the ball out. It's going to be a nice little touch there from him, not allowing Remco to get into contact. And K-Dub looking for his third. Can't quite get there. Mid-air demo. Remco by himself takes the shot. Team Envy just can't get much of anything going for themselves in game number one. It's going to be Gale Force just waiting around for the ball to trickle over to them. 1 minute left now. It's going to be all the way out. Violent Panda just can't really get the ball away as cleanly as he was after. And that big long launch could very well spend the end of this game for Team Envy, who are still looking for a way through for their opening goal of this series.
Just starting to see how much Violent Panda has a dribble opportunity from Devo. Well saved by Turbo.
Forced the ball through. Violent Panda love to take an immediate shot, but he was just too low on boost. Now once again, Devo with the ball on his hood. Tried to pass it over, he's still got the ball. Kalon immediately coming for the challenge. Devo is still around, but out of boost means that he will be forced to retreat. Actually gone far side, stolen the boost. Bounce opens up for yet another shot, but it's just going to whistle across the face of the goal.
What a save.
And towards the end of game number one, Gale Force dominant, and Team Envy have to find some answers.
Gale Force just doing a fantastic job of working the pitch. Guys on the desk mentioned it. Violent Panda had a fantastic, like unbelievable performance last week against the top two, or the other top two in the top three. But for here, he's showing that as well. He's matching almost K-Dop in these shots per game, something that he was tied in throughout this entire season. It's just a matter of the way that Turbo Pulse is working. They're allowing him to stay back and play very, very lack of pressure on him. But what he's doing well is getting up in the face, creating these demos opportunities, as well as denying a ton of boost in that corner. Just the ability to work the field as a unit. These guys are really controlling the pitch.
Yes, and when we look across this entire field right now, it is mostly controlled by Gale Force. They've got the midfield sorted out. There's only once really I saw Envy even attempting to boost deny them. It needs to be a more wide open. This looks like the old Envy that we're seeing right now, the one that really can't deal with that much pace. They have to get some players wider. They need to get some passes to try and transition the ball out from the defense into the offense, because if they don't do that, Gale Force is just going to keep half rotating and keep them boxed in.
Now, something I do like that they are doing is obviously it is very difficult to match Gale Force and pace. It's not something that anybody really does well. It's just one of those situations that I do like the fact that Devo is going for a couple of these dribbles. It is allowing his teammates time to rotate into a better position, grab some boosts, and then kind of move up as a unit. The difficulty is he's got to make something happen with that dribble. Every time he's been challenged, he's lost it. He needs to get it past at least one. Otherwise, it's going to be a very difficult situation for the other teammates to actually move something off that opportunity he's trying to create.
So game number two, what response can Team Envy find to Gale Force eSports' offense? K-Dop should try to cut the ball through to the middle. But it's going to be Devo. Remember, Team Envy still looking for their first goal of this series. They'll be hoping that once they score one, it will open the floodgates to many more afterwards. Remco can't quite get a block. Devo almost able to get there as Turbo Pulsar just had Remco behind him, who was trying to get a demo there. He will get it. At least a little bit delayed. Now Devo by himself. He's going to be dropped loose. Remco, he's got time, but he's also got to try and beat Violent Panda, who is attempting to challenge. Very slow transition play coming out here from Team Envy, and you can see exactly what that causes. Gale Force reposition on the halfway line, able to go and challenge absolutely everything. It's not helped by this lack of boost on Devo as Turbo Pulsar puts it up high, looking to try and tap it back in, but instead takes out a player by going up high, but it's just going to be Remco loitering on the backboard. Able to take it away. Once again, the infield pass attempted. But a very good play from ignite. Sees the ball coming and able to cut it out.
Just one time after another. You watch TurboPulsa, what he does immediately on that offensive side. If he doesn't get a touch, he immediately beelines to that top right corner, denies boost, and swings back in. That constant pressure is just an extra couple seconds as another one just barely missing.
Violent Panda launches over to the corner as Remco attempts to clear. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Still, Team Envy just can't get this ball out of their half. Finally away, but how long will that last? Remco back to the corner, follow up by himself. Actually managed to steal a little bit of boost, opening up some space for ignite. This is Envy's opportunity, and they do need to take it. Remco. Got multiple players running towards him, but it's going to be a chase down for the ball. Team Envy maintain possession, ball played back, using the entirety of the field to their advantage. Incredibly loose right now as both these teams, once again, looking for that one major opportunity to take. So Remco back to the corner. Turbo pretty loose as ignite just ends up whiffing. That opens up time for Gale Force. They've been stuck in defense for a very long time now. Lovely touch on, but Turbo's got to try and race back. Lovely read from Remco.
Not part of the plan, but that whiff actually helped out so much. Both players, Turbo and K-Dub, on defense, expecting that ball to come in, but because it doesn't, that extra little move up catches them completely off guard. It allows this team to put it right back in for Team Envy. And first time so far they get a lead in their first goal.
Just the moment Gale Force thought they could take a breath, immediately blocked, and the shot went into the back of the net. Now K-Dub gets clattered midair. Can't follow up his own touch. The pinch will leave it for ignite. Gets a double touch to take the ball away from TurboPulsa. K-Dub goes mid, off the backboard. Follow-up is gonna be blocked. Devo, incredible read, keeps it to a 1-0 game. But Gale Force are going to go hunting. They smell blood in the water, and they want to turn it in. They should have done it right there. Nobody was in the net, but Gale Force get in their own way.
We talk about helping K-Dub off on offense, but still, Violent Panda in those situations should just back out. You have a player who's cleanly moving in. Such an easy shot opportunity missed.
There's going to be Ignite's opportunity. TurboPulsa just able to clear. That's a huge miss from Remco. Open net. Second time of asking. Gale Force can get the goal.
Unfortunate for Envy. Just a big whiff coming in. TurboPulsa doing everything he can down on the side of that pitch. Denying boost from the players behind him. Making sure that no one can come and help out. He gets gifted a goal right in front of the net.
Ignite. Just able to stop the ball, but K-Dub is first to the cheetah. Off the ceiling. Looks for the setup. It's over to Violent Panda. Just needed to be slightly better. And that 1-0 advantage to Team Envy could have been very quickly switched to a 1-goal deficit.
Look at this disruption from TurboPulsa up on offense.
Devo. Still going to be a possibility for K-Dub to take it, but he just lands on the ball. Gale Force happy to leave players upfield. It's going to disrupt Team Envy's rotation very slightly because they have to keep an eye on them. They have to keep a player who can react. As Violent Panda late flip there. I think he used the very last frame that he could to get himself over to that ball. Big block. Team Envy. They can score a goal right here. It would leave so little time for Gale Force to respond with. Instead, it will be launched long. Devo looked for the double demo, couldn't quite get there. But he is the target man. Looks for the setup, but nobody over there. It could very well be that we are heading to overtime. The final chance will be to Team Envy. And Gale Force happy to see the OT.
Difficult for them to hold off on Gale Force. Got to give credit to Envy. Their offense has been showing up in these last couple of seconds, but their best opportunity, 2 50-50 challenges in a row, just could not get a goal.
All the way out, though. Devo. I feel like he almost needed to play that one off the backboard where someone on his team could have maybe come forward. A bit like that. Ignite all the way out. Just wanted to take out K-Dub, who is doing work, taking 2 players out by himself. I mean, his teammates expecting that. Nobody up on the shadow. Shot on target, but nothing more than that. Devo now, with his own opportunity, just puts it right in front of his teammate. Can't quite make contact. Violent Panda over the top. And then looks for the demo. Can't get it himself. We are so close to seeing this game over. If only the execution comes out for either team. K-Dub launches, gets blocked. It's going to be up to Turbo Pulsar to rotate himself in, pushes to the corner. Going to allow K-Dub to move himself back into position. Devo goes negative. All the way set up for Ignite, who is immediately met by a flying K-Dub. Once again, Violent Panda can launch, and he's got targets upfield, but instead he's going to hit it off the backboard. Immediately responded by a long clear of Devo's own. This is exactly why, in those sort of ping-pong situations, just looking to try and gain ground, get it far enough where the opponents can't get a strong enough clear, and you can come forward with the block.
Envy has been given chances in open space, but most of the time they're just throwing it right on net. I like the fact that they're trying to put threatening shots on target, but when you have that much space, it's better to draw someone out for you, at least to get some benefit from it.
Devo over to the corner, K-Dub's touch. Opens up space for Turbo Pulsar, but is Team Envy holding onto the midfield line? Ignite just trying to get some time, recognizing that it was probably not going to be the situation that you could set up for a goal, as we're now into 2 minutes of OT played. Devo going to go for a zero boost hero play, but not really able to make too much of that, as this could be Gale Force's opportunity. 2 players committed, but Turbo Pulsar too far on the right-hand side, not in position to take a shot, but he is in possession of the ball and able to allow his team to regroup and reposition. Violent Panda once again looking for the airstrike, just about misses, and now it's Team Envy's opportunity as Turbo Pulsar has to get a good contact. Remco actually reading it incredibly well, didn't even challenge him, instead faking it out. Just over 2.5 minutes played now, and that is going to be a shot. Violent Panda will turn it to 2-0 for Gale Force.
This Gale Force squad with these high lofted clears, forcing everybody on Envy to go up high and make a save. But these touches are always in retreat. They're never hitting them head on to clear it back down to the other side. And it was just only a matter of time for this Gale Force squad, where one goes into the middle and sets it up for the captain. Violent Panda puts it away.
You have to be so careful when you're having a game like that, where we are consistently trading possession back and forth to make sure that you know where your 2 teammates are. We saw it yesterday from Fireburner, where they were having a very similar game, and he pushed the ball into the corner. If you don't do that, and you don't allow your team time to get back, situations like that happen, where it's going to bounce off the backboard and you have players on your team that just can't react to the ball whatsoever. That's what we saw in this situation. Gale Force able to capitalize, but Envy, they are holding their own right now.
They're doing well. It's just they need to take it to that next level. A lot of the times when they do get ball or possession, there's plenty of times with Devo where he did have dribble opportunities and he just hit it into the midfield, where there is almost always a Gale Force player waiting. It's something that Gale Force has been doing very, very well so far this series. Their rotations are extremely clean, but anytime they challenge at the midfield, they're doing it with a lot of momentum behind them, so it is clearing it towards the other end, towards Envy's half. As for Envy, it's just they're pushing it away every single time. If you're going to hit it like that, like you said, set it up into the corner. At least force someone to go up on the wall and make a save, because so far it's just been easy clears for this Gale Force squad.
So I mentioned this yesterday as well, about the fact of, if you are getting stuck in your own half, send someone for almost a fake challenge of sorts and get them into the mid part of the field, where they can steal some boost and turn into a target man. Envy aren't really doing that right now, but they're still transitioning pretty well, just purely through the Devo dribbles.
You do have to give them credit as well. They've been maintaining that midfield pressure a lot better than what we've seen in the past. Just the difficulty is this Gale Force squad is challenging very quickly. Big difference from what they saw earlier today against Flipside.
Ignite. Off the wall. There's going to be no follow-up from Team Envy. All the way out, Violent Panda. Not really going to be able to do too much, as Team Envy has multiple players on the backboard. Team Envy does need to start spacing themselves out a little bit when they are caught in their final third. Seems like they've got multiple players covering the same area, and they can just keep a player loose and have them as a target. Ignite gets the setup after being demoed. It's going to drop all the way down, and Violent Panda forced to react. Now Remco, backboard, over to Ignite. Blistering pace there from Team Envy. Gale Force just reading the game so well right now.
Seeing the effect this boost deny is having on this Envy defense. Remco wants to be up to help out with a lot of these touches, but most of the time he's rotating back for boost. It just simply isn't there. He's got to collect these smaller boost pads that extra couple seconds, just relieving the pressure on this defense.
Turbo launches long, but he is immediately blocked by a half-rotating D.Va who gets an extra bit of contact. Now this is huge for Team N because they've got a couple of seconds where they are 1v1. K-Dop has to try and get it away, but instead it is Turbo Pulsar with the save. Gale Force able to survive a big scare there.
A phenomenal save from Turbo Pulsar. Played that perfectly offside.
Turbo taking control. Once again, Devo. 600 boost per minute Devo uses in his regular games. Now it looks like he's using them properly. These half rotations where he is just cutting through Gale Force's attempted clears means so much to his team when it comes to positioning.
I honestly think it's a cause and effect because of what Turbo Pulsar and this Gale Force team are doing up on offense. They just simply aren't giving him enough boost to use as much as he'd like.
Devo gonna be forced to watch as the ball goes head straight into his net. K-Dop out of nowhere with the shots.
Just, you see K-Dop starting to approach this.
You hit the ball there because you think the corner is safe.
Right, he's in the midfield just sitting there poised, ready to attack, and all of a sudden, as soon as it goes to the right, he beelines for that wall, which is great. Not only does he use the wall, it conserves a lot of boost for him just in case. That way, if the constant pressure still is there, he doesn't need to rotate out, so.
Oh my goodness, Ignite with an immediate response. What a setup from Devo.
Absolutely what this NVT needs. As soon as he wins that challenge, he goes midfield, recognizes that pass coming in. It's a beautiful shot on net. Great job by Envy tying this one up.
This is Ignite's birthday weekend, and he wants to cap it off with a European Championship to his name. Launching once again, Envy holding their own, but they need to find that final part. But once again, Gale Force, the team plays are too strong. No one able to get to this ball before Turbo Pulsar. And it is a simple net for K-Dop.
Just again, a whip on defense, though. I understand these guys are trying to rotate in quick to get a big clear, especially with two players convinced up on offense. Just those misses, absolutely detrimental.
Ignite just launches. Seems a little bit wasteful what he's done with that ball, but now Devo once again with the half rotation. Ignite went over there, so it is going to cut up Team Envy's rotation very slightly, but it seems like they're doing well enough as Ignite's got an opportunity for the brace.
Just seemed like only a matter of time. Look how fast this Envy squad is challenging this in front of the net. One after another, you get a stop, and then a matter of time for it to... That's like 4 times in a row that it's landing right in front of the net. About time they got one that wasn't up in the air.
This is such a high-risk reward strategy being employed by Team Envy. They've got so many players forward relying, and is that it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Really risky here from Turbo Pulsar as well with that cheat up, but it pays off so well. His challenge on that was absolutely perfect. For him to jump into it and then rotate slightly to the right as well. Allows the ball to carry with him. He just makes sure he follows up on that backboard hit.
Team Envy needs to clean up what they are doing immediately following these kickoffs because they've been caught twice very quickly in this game. K-Dop looking for the pass. Hit it way too heavy though to find his teammate. Now Violent Panda goes all the way out to K-Dop, who launches and he finds the back of the net.
This pass is absolutely perfect. Turbo Pulsar to Violent Panda, right slow roller on the ground, and then beautiful placement. The team play coming out from Gale Force.
I do have to criticize there, however, very slightly. Devo, his launch off the wall to land was incredibly odd. He brought himself way further out than he needed to and had no space to react to a shot that he did see coming. The pass had a good second or so before the shot came in.
Just good unselfish play all around though, but yes, still mistakes coming out from Envy. But so far this game, they have been able to tie it back up.
Tap down, over to Remco. Shot was on target. But Violent Panda with the pre-jump gets there first. Remco with the block. Setting up Ignite for his opportunity to move forward. Now Devo goes for it once again, but there is Violent Panda. Consistently a thorn in the sides of Team Envy. And there is the follow-up shot. K-Dub launches the ball high. 50 seconds remaining now. Team Envy, they've got to score quickly. The side. Turbo Pulsar trying to keep this ball out of their side of the field. Team Envy doing an incredible job of being incredibly quick off the wall. Now that bumping play from Devo opens up space for Ignite, and he joins K-Dub as a hat-trick hero.
This entire game so far, Envy has been extremely fast at contesting the ball in that midfield, and it's finally starting to pay off. You're seeing this Gale Force defense under a lot more pressure.
Now it's 34 seconds. Team Envy, they've got to pick up this goal. Best of 7 reverse sweeps are incredibly rare. That's going to be the opportunity off the post. That could have very well been the end of this game had that been turned in. But now with 20 seconds left, Team Envy have been offered a lifeline. But firstly, they've got to get this ball out of their side of the field as Gale Force set themselves up to not even budge. It goes long, it's on target, and we are all tied up at 4 goals apiece.
All it takes is one. Ignite playing that down, ends up getting no one on it. Given all the time in the world, he just plays it perfectly on net. With 9 seconds left, we could see our first overtime.
Gale Force so focused on holding the midfield that they completely forgot that there is an area of the field behind the midfield, and that was their own net. Nobody left to cover, and this could be one more opportunity. The shot was blocked from Remco by Turbo Pulsar, as Gale Force forcing yet another overtime. Team Envy have been here before. Now they need that goal. They need to turn this into a 2-1 series.
This is absolutely huge. Someone needs to help out Remco on these goals. No one else on his team is pulling away.
Turbo! Just gonna turn it in, and once again, Team Envy caught from the kickoff.
Gale Force wasting no time. 3 goals like this series. And they all come from this game, off those kickoffs and just straight on net. The defense breaking down of Team Envy.
Once again, Team Envy do the entire formula correctly, but provide the wrong answer. They drop a 3rd game to Gale Force over silly means, let's be honest here.
It's just so difficult. Ignite absolutely huge in that series. 100% accuracy on 4 shots, and it's still not enough. Before that, no one else on his team but Remco had scored. He shows up huge here, and it just still doesn't do it. It seems to be one solo individual each game, when in reality they need to work as a unit, and we finally start to see it there. Those pressures in midfield were absolutely fantastic. It's just, where's the rest? They just can't tie it all together.
Yeah, they just need time to get... I mean, the rotation has been really good so far from Team Envy. It's setting up that rotation that they're struggling with, and I'm going to spitball theorize about this one right now.
Good luck.
I feel like it's a case of they are prioritizing that boost so much straight from the beginning of the game that they're sort of ignoring everything else that is happening. Whilst Gale Force, they've got cheating up players, they can continue to control the ball, and that's what's catching them right now. Team Envy are focused on setting up for the rest of the play, whilst Gale Force are playing immediately.
Yeah, even the times that they do cheat up, they're getting beat out. Turbo Pulsar won that major one that allowed him to get it off that backboard or off that side wall. So one of those situations where these guys play a little bit safer. I mean, in all reality, if you're conceding that many goals to it, forget the cheat up. Play for the boost if you really want to, but just make sure someone's back on defense, because in most cases, it's very, very difficult to beat K-Dop to a ball anyway.
1 game away before Gale Force will book their ticket to the Regional Championship Finals and look to make it 2 seasons in a row. If that drop down, it could be an opportunity, but Remco already up in the air. This is good for Team Envy. We've got 10 seconds in. Nothing off the kickoff. Now they can set themselves up.
Another good thing, too, is they have been able to find the back of the net as this series has progressed, but they talked about it on the desk. We talk about it all the time. These best of 7s are a marathon. Plenty of time for them to make changes as a shot from Remco.
He could not have hit this any lighter if he tried. He was not hitting this with his bumper. He was hitting it with a bit of cotton at the very end there, as he just guides the ball to the back of the net.
Well, you saw Ignite do the exact opposite. Came in flying like a missile to not only get the touch, but the demo on Turbo. Beautiful setup from this team. You're starting to see them beat Gale Force to the challenges.
Oh, once again, though, it was almost a very quick shot and goal for Gale Force. Now Remco, he's got time. Ignite in support. Almost able to tap that down, but Violent Panda, who is a name I seem to be mentioning a lot right now when it comes to defensive interceptions. Once again, the last player back. Bounces all the way out. K-Dop tried to position himself for an eventual rebound shot off the backboards, but instead forced to try and reposition, pick up a save. Now K-Dop looking towards Turbo Pulsar. Much better transition play coming out from Team Envy than we saw in game one. Devo looking for the double tap. If you want to hit those double taps, you have to start boosting so earlier on, because as soon as that car starts to dip, very difficult to get it back in the air. Now Violent Panda, good block, gets a second one. It's going to be him taking the boost, and he's not going to be able to use too much of it, but K-Dop continued this play for himself. Infield pass, Ignite shot, just a little bit too close, but he follows it up. 2-0, and this is the perfect position for Team Envy.
Usually you'd expect Turbo Pulsar to make this save, but the team play just difficult to read. He beats one out. He's in the right position on that first touch, but as soon as it gets on pass, he's facing the wrong way. Just catching him off guard. Good team play from Envy, able to extend that lead to 2.
Violent Panda plays it a little bit too far back. Gale Force find themselves trailing in match number 4. Remco going to take his time here. He recognizes that he's got a man on. Played straight into the middle. K-Dop tries to find some way through. There's multiple plans in action there from Gale Force, but no one really committing to one. Now Devo with a big block. That's going to put the ball back over to the blue side of the field. Now up. K-Dop tries to find Violent Panda off the backboard yet again. Gale Force have attempted this multiple times now this game, and it's not worked. Team Envy holding players on the backboard who could easily respond.
Just look how well Gale Force is suffocating this team as well. Saw Turbo Pulsar play that in and then immediately goes for a demo, but it doesn't matter. Committing that much on offense as a back pass ends up not going to the wall. A mistake here actually from K-Dop. Saw Violent Panda wanted to play that up and around. Probably would have got met by Envy anyway. They're doing a fantastic job of keeping this team on defense.
Ignite is just shooting so well right now as Devo looks to try and put in one of his own. Ignite currently in the last 2 games, 6 goals for 7 shots.
It's a whole lot of percentages.
Played straight down. Turbo, he's got an open net until we see Remco rotate himself back in. Yet another infield pass. But these are being read now from Team Envy. I just want to see Gale Force try and fake out a play because they've been a little bit telegraphed with what they're moving forward with. Panda, he scored this last week. Can't quite turn it around this week. But this is Gale Force in a perfect opportunity to score. Every single member of Team Envy is behind the ball in the net. One player challenge taking out. As now Remco gets blocked. Ignite all by himself, beats the ball. Gets a delayed save though on the decline from the air. And everything Gale Force is putting forward right now has been answered. And that is a big clear for Team Envy. They've just got over a minute to remain before they pick up their first win of this series.
Crucial save by Envy on defense. Everybody stepping up for the team. You mentioned it a little bit earlier. Devo's boost management has been phenomenal. Just making sure to utilize it in the correct way rather than just using it because he can. It's really opening up doors for his team.
Launch again from Turbo. It's going to be Ignite. 40 seconds remaining now, still a 3-goal difference. Panda looking to center, but Ignite already there. Just straight on net. The more time Team Envy gets on offense, the more time is wasted on the clock as we head towards 20 seconds remaining. And that should give them this victory. Ignite looking to set up Devo, launches a shot up high. And if it was certain before, it's definitely certain now. Team Envy bouncing back in a big way.
Just see how clean these guys are rotating. As soon as one plays that in, immediately out to get boost. Then even if Devo doesn't get that one, the next player will be in. They're doing such a good job of controlling this pitch.
Up to the corner. It's the ball up high. TurboPulse just going to try and do a little bit of style as we come towards the end of this game, but Team Envy won't even allow him that. And now if they can continue this level of performance for the rest of this series, I'm looking forward to what's coming up.
We needed someone else to help up on offense. ignite has been doing exactly that the last 2 games. Absolutely dominant from him. 2 goals, 2 assists, saves, and shots to boot as well. Just doing it all for this team. We had a lot of doubts or a lot of questions more so about how is this rookie going to perform. He has no issues through league play, and he's showing up even better here in the regional championships.
Yeah, this is the perfect time of the season to start firing up and play at the level that ignite currently is. And personally, I believe he could have played like this all season long, but it's the rest of the team as well that I believe is helping so much. Devo is at a new level that we haven't seen from him this season, where he is a nuisance every single time he gets the ball. And even off the ball, he is chasing. He is not giving up on anything right now. And it opens up Remco, who we already know is a phenomenal rotation player, that they can now just do what they want to do because they know Devo is buying them time to grab boost and grab position.
Yeah, Devo has been a player that you and I know talked a lot about after their World Championship win, about the only reason he played as well as he did is because he fully trusted his teammates. He's a teammate and a player that has always been reliant on, okay, can I trust my teammates to make these plays? Can I trust them to make these touches? Then you see the crazy contests from the middle of the field that don't make any sense, the cutting rotations and stuff, and he's very reminiscent to that now. He's not afraid to cut a rotation because he knows the teammates behind him are going to follow up. They're going to support that decision by giving him a little bit more space, and it's really opening up the field for this Envy team. The benefit of being a best of 7, though, is they finally figured out this Gale Force squad, and now it's Gale Force's turn to bounce back.
Still a lot of work to do. Team Envy needing 3 more wins in a row against a Gale Force team that many tout as the best team in the world. Devo immediately launching. The opportunity straight away here for Team Envy to put the pressure on. Turbo forced to delay this touch. Team Envy starting off as they mean to continue. ignite. Just need to get the bumper to the end of that ball, and that could have been a phenomenal goal to start us off.
You just see the defensive Gale Force really respecting ignite. All 3 players back in that box, slowly moving backwards in the net to give themselves some time to contest it.
Now Violent Panda looks to try and go above, but once again it's Devo. Early challenges from him, and you can see what it causes on Gale Force. The moment that player is beaten, they have to get players back, and because they usually leave a player forward for them to try and pass to, it is very difficult for them to do. They have to scramble for it.
It's causing chaos on this guy. The fact that one player is to create all this is absolutely huge. As again, using that side wall to play it into midfield.
Devo. He's got infield players to aim for, but it is going to be Violent Panda immediately there. Once again, tried to get the half rotation block. This time it's ignite up on the wall. He's got plenty of boost to use, but just couldn't get the ball to almost attach itself to the front of his bumper.
Just the setup went a little bit more inside than he wanted.
Now it's Gale Force. This is their first prolonged offense of this game so far. And because of that bump on Violent Panda, it means that they can't take it for too long. The small things breaking it down for Gale Force. Double commit, though. Devo using a lot of boost to try and put himself back in position. Now it's Violent Panda. Gets it over to TurboPulse. Over to the corner now. Huge booming clear from Remco. Take away any pressure from his team. Infield pass. ignite will comfortably put that one back into the corner. Is Gale Force, though, with position on the field. Saw a lot of them trying to go for bumps earlier on to whoever was waiting in the net. Will they try and turn that on yet again?
You can really tell the difference in how much the teammates of Remco have really stepped up. Previous series, he was averaging over 3.5 shots per game. In this series, he's under 2. So these guys are really coming and helping out to apply this pressure, spreading it out evenly. Like you stated a little bit ago, it all starts with Devo.
Now ignite up high. He's going to try and push forward, see if he can get a double commit, which almost did happen. 2 minutes remaining now. Still scoreless on the board, but how long will that last? Not long at all. Turbopulsar with a goal that could gift this series to Gale Force.
Just unfortunate for Remco. He reads that off the wall quite. He reads it off the wall quite well. He pops it up, trying to get a secondary touch, but doesn't have the boost or the angle to get to it in time, and just dishes it over to the other team. That opportunity for Gale Force just put away. Cannot allow that to happen at a time like now, where they are on match point.
K-Dog wants to try and get that second. It's dropping all the way down. Big block there from Ignite. Team Envy can't afford to go two goals down now. Devo flicks it over to a teammate. Remco's got the ball up high. It's off the crossbar. And Ignite with the shot. He's been so accurate all day, but that time just pushed it too far to the left. Another minute and 20 remaining. Team Envy, they can't dwell on it. Have to try and set up another opportunity of equal worth to that one.
60% shooting accuracy for Ignite. So difficult for missing that, but it came from those Devo dribbles. Told you how he only needed to beat at least one out with those opportunities, and it worked out. Just need to put it away. So there's only 1 minute left. They need to tie this up.
Ignite on the ball. Tries to bump away, but now it's Turbopulsar. He's put it towards his own side, but he's got plenty of time. Nobody on Team Envy moving forwards. Infield pass to Ignite, but Violent Panda, the savior medal, and a crucial one at that 50 seconds now. Team Envy have got to find a way through. All the way up. Ignite looking for the backboard. It's going to be a Turbopulsar already waiting for the ball to come towards him. As Team Envy lock down that midfield, they've taken both of the side boosts. Ignite racing against Turbopulsar, neither able to get there. Now it's going to be Remco against Violent Panda, all the way to the other end of the field. Gale Force are taking time off this clock as Ignite with yet another launch.
Gale Force has definitely switched their style of play. Look how far back they're sitting. They're trying to waste as much time as possible. They're playing for this one goal. They don't need another.
And you see the double commits coming out from Team Envy. A big demo, and that will be the end of the series.
By sitting that far back, they get this Envy team to push up, but it doesn't matter. In a 2 versus 2 situation, made a 2v1, a wide open net. And it looks like Gale Force is going to take this one and move on to the final.
Team Envy were clawing for that goal in the final minute, but that could be the end of them, at least in this phase of the tournament, as Violent Panda just put to the other side. And Gale Force, they're going to try and make it a repeat. They are heading to the European Regional Finals.
Gale Force is going to do it in 5 here.